Microsoft knows they have screwed up Windows 11, and they put a statement out a day or two ago saying what they're going to do to try to fix it, but they're not apologizing to people for the quote-unquote and shitification of Windows, right? So we're going to read through this statement and take a look at it. And look, I've been super critical of Microsoft Windows 11 for the last probably 6 or 8 months, since everyone was more or less forced to upgrade from Windows 10. And I've told you my feelings on Copilot. And this is, again, coming from a guy who is okay using AI as a tool, but I don't think AI should be forced on anyone, and it should not be injected into every consumer product if they don't want it, and especially if it slows down the performance and spies on you and has all kinds of security issues. And that is what Windows 11 has been. I've been trying to push people toward Linux. Linux Mint is great if you're a Windows user. I know it's not for everybody, though, because not every application works on it currently. And, it's a little bit harder than just turning the computer on and there's Microsoft and it just, walks you through it or whatever. But I did do a video on how to install Linux Mint. You can go back and find that if you want to make the switch. But let's take a look at what Microsoft is saying, because, I don't know if I believe them. Here's the thing. Microsoft has bet everything on AI, and they're going to inject AI into everything. Now, they are slowing their roll a little bit on the Copilot 365 rollout, but just imagine being this company betting the farm, literally betting the farm, the server farm on AI, and then realizing the public absolutely hates it, and that they're jumping ship to whatever alternative they can find that does not have AI shoved into everything, and having to walk this back, because this is their business plan going forward. Is we're just going to do AI. We're not even going to. Eventually, there's not even going to be software. According to Elon Musk, there's not even going to be software. We're just going to have AI agents. We're not going to own anything. The software is basically going to run itself. I don't think people want that. I know people don't want that because they're trying to force it on people and they're rejecting it. So this comes from ZDNet. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Their headline is Microsoft announces sweeping Windows changes, but no apologies. Microsoft's Windows boss just sent out a long non-apology to frustrated Windows 11 users, promising big changes. Here's a translation of what you can expect. This is coming from Ed Bot. Wait, that's his name? Ed Bot? Ed Bot. Is he a real person or is he an AI writer? Ed Bot on ZDNet. Okay. ZDNet's key takeaways. Microsoft finally acknowledges complaints about Windows 11. Yeah, after several months of people jumping ship, the company is promising sweeping changes. Windows insiders will have a greater voice in upcoming releases. Okay, Microsoft's customers have been grumbling about Windows 11 since the day it shipped, and lately those complaints have gotten louder and angrier. Well, when we weren't forced to upgrade to Windows 11, and when they didn't shove Copilot into everything, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. I didn't love it, but it was usable. And what we need is a vanilla version. And if you want Copilot, you can add it, but I think we need a stripped down vanilla version out of the box. They complained about the glitchy mess of Windows Update, the push to cram Copilot branded AI features into every nook and cranny of Windows, including Notepad, by the way. Upsells and ads. Yeah, they're going to put like full screen ads. I mean, it's horrible. An inconsistent system performance. And finally, somebody in Redmond noticed. In a long post titled Our Commitment to Windows Quality, published on Microsoft's website and sent via email to millions of members of the Windows Insider program, Windows boss Pavan Davuluri laid out. There's a pattern in the Windows hierarchy of certain names that come up. I'm just I never really noticed before. I'm going to be honest, I didn't, but I'm literally everybody at Microsoft is of a certain ethnicity, and I'd never noticed before. I don't know if this is connected to the AI push or not. I have no idea. But this is Pavan Davuluri laid out a laundry list of changes Microsoft plans to make in Windows 11 starting this month. What's most remarkable about this post is what it doesn't contain. Here's how we kick things off. Every day, we hear from the community about how you experience Windows. And over the past several months, the team and I have spent a great deal of time analyzing your feedback. What came through was the voice of people who care deeply about Windows and want it to be better. That paragraph belongs in the non-apology Hall of Fame with a cross-reference to Friday News Dump, a classic PR technique that aims to minimize media coverage of the awkward news being released. Yes, we've talked about this before. I used to work for newspapers. I worked for a marketing firm. The Friday News Dump is exactly how you bury bad news. You wait until the end of the day on Friday when everybody's leaving for the weekend. Most papers, they'll have a skeleton crew on the weekends. Most media outlets, but most of the coverage is like, if you're gonna drop good news, you're gonna do it on a Monday or a Tuesday, so you can get all that buzz, you can ride that wave out for the week. But if it's bad news, like, man, our stock is tanking, our CEO's stepping down, or whatever, there's a scandal, it's going to be on a Friday afternoon when nobody's paying attention. When I read the paragraph, I was gobsmacked. They've spent months analyzing feedback. Seriously, they need charts and graphs to figure out that people just want Windows to work. Here's what's on the list of changes coming to Windows, along with my own translation of what some of those changes mean. More taskbar customization. You couldn't ask for a more perfect example of how Microsoft finally caught up to what insiders have been griping about. When they released Windows 11 5 years ago, the new taskbar lacked a feature that had been a favorite of power users for decades: the ability to move the taskbar from its default location at the bottom. Yeah, I don't like the taskbar in Windows 11. I actually have to move the icons over to the left, like Windows 10. I hate having them in the center. On the Feedback Hub app, where Microsoft collects bug reports and comments from Windows users, one feature request has been at or near the top of the list since day one. Bring back the ability to move the taskbar. Okay, so let's see. Less AI slop. As I noted earlier this year, Microsoft has been relentlessly shoehorning AI features into places they absolutely don't belong. Yes, we have been following along with this as well. I follow feedback and forums carefully, and I would estimate that roughly 99% of the comments about AI features boil down to a simple request: please stop. Well, again, it's hard to stop when your entire business model is pivoting to AI, and they have to justify that. So they're going to push that, right? In a blog post welcoming 2026, Satya Nadella, the CEO, argued we need to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication. In response, the internet made micro slop the most popular meme of the new year. Yeah, he basically said, you need to love our slop. Please love our slop. My job depends on you loving the slop. And that was their whole business plan for 2026. Now they're already walking it back with Copilot, I guess. And yeah, so bowing to that feedback, Microsoft now says it's backing off. You will see us be more intentional about how and where Copilot integrates across Windows, focusing on experiences that are genuinely useful and well-crafted. You don't need Copilot in Notepad. And there should be a big-ass button for normies to be able to uninstall Copilot. But they won't do that because, again, everything is centered around Copilot. They're going to blow themselves up. Like, if you think Microsoft is too big to fail, look at AOL, look at MySpace, look at all these other websites, Yahoo, which is a shell of its former self. I'm not saying Microsoft is going to disappear, but as more and more options become available to people, and those options are more user-friendly, I totally expect Microsoft's dominance to wane. Right now, the reason people aren't jumping ship is it's easy. Their new computer ships with Windows. If it didn't, if it shipped with Linux or something, and it was already kind of pre-installed, ready to go, people wouldn't even bother with Microsoft. They wouldn't. And I think if PC manufacturers get enough pushback, they would be smart to give people the choice. Do you want Windows or Linux on your machine? But yeah, that's the only reason. Let's be honest. That's the only reason Microsoft won the operating system wars, was because they shipped Windows on every fucking PC. That's it. That's the only reason. There weren't any really viable alternatives. So I think we need a few viable alternatives. We're reducing unnecessary Copilot entry points, starting with Apps like Snipping Tool, Photos, Widgets, and Notepad. Why the fuck would you put it in there anyway? The patch Tuesday schedule was supposed to make Windows updates predictable. That hasn't worked out in practice, judging by the volume of complaints I hear every month. The response, we're giving you more control over updates while reducing update noise with fewer automatic restarts and notifications. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass because, Tuesday is a busy day for most people. Monday is like meeting day if you work in an office. Monday is meeting day. Tuesday is when you actually start your work week, technically. And people are trying to jump into the projects they talked about on Monday, and their fucking computer wants to restart. And it may not come back the way that it left, right? I mean, that has happened to me before. Better performance. You say here's complaints about File Explorer being painfully slow to load and also slow in performing everyday tasks. No shit. Today's announcement promises launch time reductions in File Explorer with substantially lower latency for search, navigation, and context menus. Also on the roadmap is improved memory efficiency, lowering the baseline memory footprint for Windows, more consistent performance even under load. It's amazing if you put, again, not that I'm trying to be a shill for Linux. It's free, so I don't get anything out of it. But if you put Linux on an older machine, it's going to run like new. My laptop, which was nerfed by one of their updates because I have an NVIDIA driver, and I got the black screen of death after Windows 11 updated. It was running like ass because it just could not handle Windows 11 because of all the bloat. I put Linux Mint on it, and it runs like new. Even the games, everything runs like new. It's crazy. So key to the overall performance improvement is a plan to push more core parts of the Windows UX to Windows U. Yeah, this is all inside baseball tech shit. So let's see, greater attention to reliability. Okay, across the operating system, we will focus on improving baseline reliability and strengthening the Windows foundation by reducing OS level crashes. Improving driver quality and app stability across our ecosystem so PCs run smoothly and reliably every day. Or you could just, switch to Linux and they will. I haven't had any issues with it. Goes on and on with improvements promised in Bluetooth and USB connections, printer support, Windows Hello and search. There's even a promise to make widgets less annoying. Good luck. And the post closes with a pretty sweeping promise. As part of this effort, we're evolving how Windows is built behind the scenes to raise the quality bar and deliver innovation where it matters most, shaped by the feedback we're hearing from you. There were accusations that Microsoft was using AI to write its code, the vibe code, the Windows updates. That sounds like they're admitting it. This includes deeper validation and broader testing across real-world hardware and usage scenarios before new experiences reach Windows insiders. You're a multi-billion or possibly trillion-dollar company. Why are you not testing the operating system that runs the majority of the world's computers before you ship the updates? You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost feel like, look, normally I'm not for the government getting involved, but I'm like, you're responsible for almost all of the computers in the world running. You're not vibe coding this shit and you're not shipping half-ass stuff. You're going to do your due diligence and make sure it works to the best of your ability before you ship it and fuck everybody's computer up. The result's going to be higher quality builds, more meaningful innovation, greater flexibility in choosing what you want to try. Okay, this is how we will continue to help build and ship Windows 11 so we can deliver better experiences with greater confidence month after month. Sounds to me like an admission that the entire process for building Windows has been broken for some time. Yeah, if you need to raise the quality bar, doesn't that imply you've been shipping products that don't meet your customers' quality standards? Yeah, they've been vibe coding this shit. And they've been shipping vibe coded garbage updates, which is probably why we're in the state that we're in right now. If you're planning broader testing across real-world hardware, doesn't that imply that the testing regime for the past few years has been insufficient? Meanwhile, a simple, we're sorry would not hurt. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go well. Yeah, it just goes on and on. You can go out and find it on the Windows blog. But so this comes from Ars Technica. Microsoft keeps insisting that it's deeply committed to the quality of Windows. Reducing unnecessary Copilot entry points is one of Microsoft's action items. Do you believe him? I don't believe him. I don't blame for a minute. They were going to go all in on Copilot plus PCs that were going to take snapshots of your desktop all the time. We're seeing it injected or going to be injected into Xbox, and people are not excited at all. They're like, wait, so the video game basically just plays itself at this point? You have a built-in obnoxious game guide? I mean, this is so much worse than just the yellow path, the yellow objects. And again, the reason they're doing this is they spent so much money on AI that if you don't love it, they're fucked. That's basically it. Like, if you don't love the AI and their whole business plan for the next 5-10 years is to go all in on AI, they're fucked because they ain't got nothing. Or you could just be an operating system. You could just sell video game consoles with good games. You could try that. You could just try to be the best Microsoft you could be. I mean, the same thing happened to Adobe. Adobe had software for creatives, and then they loudly announced that their software could do the job of creatives. So what incentive is there for your customers to buy your software? Zero. There's zero incentive for your customers to buy your software. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. There you go. A non-apology. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.